Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. I was hoping that Darren was going to join me, so I think he's having a little bit of trouble with his internet connection. But hey, I'm sure he'll get on as we go through the Hangout. So he's got the link, so he hopefully should join us fairly soon. Now, what I'm going to be doing in a minute is I'm going to be sharing my screen. I want to talk to you about the changes that have been happening in the back of Zukul, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the launch. And what I will say is, if you've got any questions about this Hangout today, if you could put them in capital letters down in the chat there, that would be fantastic. And of course, when the Hangout's finished broadcasting and it's it's sitting there on YouTube, please feel free to to put your links and whatnot in the description. And if you're looking to get into any type of trading, then you come to the right place. This is the place to be. We're talking about the best binary option strategies for beginners. And really, you don't really need much of a strategy, to be honest. What you need is a robot. Now, we're almost at the launch of our robot. So that means we've almost finished it, where we're confident that it's going to get you the success that you want to. So first off, I'd like to thank all the founders that have been helping us with this launch, and that is that they've been testing our bot with lots of numbers. Hi there, Darren. Darren's actually joined. You can't see him; he's off screen at the moment. But I want to give a big thank you out to all the founders that have actually, gone in and tested it live and with demos. Some of you have lost money, real money that is, and some of you have made money. But that's what we needed. We needed people to actually be on the shop floor, if you like, or at the front line there, testing it, so we could improve our strategies of how, and the algorithms of how the bot works. Now, what we will be doing as we go into the approach the launch, okay, between now and the launch, okay, we've got I think it's one. I mean, Barbara, if you're watching, if you could just let me know in our WhatsApp chat how many bronze founder position we have, and do we have any other positions available, because we want to auction a couple. I think we've got a couple of positions available that we're going to be auctioning off. Now, what will that mean? Basically, you'll be able to get in and guarantee yourself access to the binary option bot, and there's lots of other things that you're going to get access to. Now, when we do actually launch on the 28th of this month, okay, it's literally, what, 7 days away, depending on where you are in the world. If you're in the Australian hemisphere, then you've got 6 days, I think. Or if you're in the UK, you're just finishing, you're approaching into 7. And if you're in the US, depending on where you are, you've got a bit longer than everybody else. But it's on the 28th of November on our live Hangout. Now, we're going to be doing a live Hangout on the 28th of November when we'll switch it on. Now, what does that mean when we switch it on and go live? What that means is we're going to invite other members of Zukul access to the robot, okay? Now, that's going to be limited places, and I believe that we're going to open the doors for 100 people only. So it'll be the first come, first served basis, and that will be launched on the 28th of November on our live Hangout. Now, what I want to do is, before I get into business, I want to thank all those people that have sent me and Jess well wishes. That's great. Those of you that maybe follow me on Facebook, I put out a video. We're doing IVF again here. We had an embryo that we had left over from last time, if you like, in the fridge, and we thought, why not use that embryo up? And Jess has got a positive pregnancy at the moment. Obviously, it's early days, so she's being monitored every couple of days to see if that's going in the right direction. It is. So hopefully, with our fingers crossed this end, everything's going to carry on going in the right direction. But I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted on that. But really, this Hangout is about the best binary option strategy for beginners, okay? And when I say for beginners, what this is, if you've never traded binary options before, some people will call it trading, some people will call it betting, but binary options, and I'm sure Darren will fill you in on this a bit as we go through this Hangout. Binary options is about, there's a time frame where you can try to predict what's going to happen with a price, whether it's going to go up in value or whether it's going to go down. And that could be a cryptocurrency, a fiat currency, a stock, a commodity. You sort of predict what the price is going to be. And if you're correct, the ROIs can be massive. You know, that can be anything from 50% up to sort of 98% ROIs if you get your prediction correct. Obviously, if you're doing it blind and you've never done it before, you would probably be looking at a screen with things that are called candles, and the price, even if you're using a dot on the screen, the price goes up, the price goes down, the price goes up, the price goes down. You need to have some sort of strategy in place, okay? So what we've done is we've built a robot that actually takes, I would say, I'd say a good 90% of the work away from you, okay? It actually, the robot will do the trading for you, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to set up a trading bot. And I'm also going to sort of talk you through what the different sections are, because I know there's some existing members that want to know what the actual settings are of the bot. And then what I'll do is I'll come over to Darren, and maybe he'll share some wisdom with us. So I know he was running late, so hopefully he's got something that he can share with us. If not, he's just going to smile sweetly and look at you on the screen. So first off, let me check that everybody can hear. And as Darren says in the Hangout, so let us know that you can hear us. JR, there are 11 bronze founders left. Okay, so we've got 11 bronze founders left. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing an auction for those. So if you want to become a bronze founder, you need to put in a bid for it. Okay, and then what we're going to do with that money that we collect, we're going to take a percentage of that money. I'm going to make a post later on today. We're going to make a percentage of that money, and that percentage will be given out as a prize to in a competition, and we'll tell you about the competition afterwards. But first off, we need to collect the money from, or the Bitcoin from, the auction of the bronze founder positions. Okay, so we got 11 bronze founder positions available, and we'll probably do a Hangout. I'll do a little video, and maybe I'll even show you a video we did before. I think we've got one that tells you what you get as a bronze founder. Okay, right. So let me come back to the Hangout. What have I done with it? I've lost it. There it is. So I'm going to share my screen. So hide that bit down there. Just give me the thumbs up there, Darren, that you can see the screen. He's gone silent. He can't hear me, maybe. Oh, I've got a thumbs up. There we go. So, right, I've minimized the Hangout, and I'll come back over to here. And what I'll do is I'll go straight over to Zukul. Now, I'm on on a page that you get to when you come down here. It says betting bot stats, which is your binary options betting bot. Okay. And of course you can, I'm not going to show you where else you can find that, but it's on this menu at the top. But when you do, it's going to load a page like this. Okay. Now the Pocket Options were doing some work on their site yesterday, so we don't have much data for all of the 3 days. But normally this would populate with 3 days, like this one has here. Okay, and these two have here. But you might see some yesterday's day missing, and that means that asset, we don't have enough information to populate that box. Across the top here, we've got all the assets. Then we've got the fiat currencies. Well, I don't need to tell you what fiat currencies are. Cryptocurrencies, all the assets for cryptocurrencies. You've got commodities and you've got stocks. Now, the bit that I'm going to show you is we're not going to choose anyone in particular. I'm not going to run this filter at the top here and choose a budget or anything like that. I just really want to talk you through how to set up a binary options bot. Okay. Now, you'd come to this top here and you would choose a filter, or you could just choose what you want from the maximum filter, if you like, that's been filtered out. But once you have, I will choose a filter. I'm going to say $100, okay? And I filter that, and I'm not going to go for stocks. I'm going to go to all assets, okay? And I've got, normally you'd see 3 days here, okay? Now, what you'd want to see is that you've got 3 days in the green, really. or, you know, obviously we haven't got the stats for that. So let's have a look to see if we've got one where we've got 3 days. There we are. We come down here. We've got 3 days in the green. Okay. Now, as you can see here, it's got a strategy B, and a strategy C. So I'm going to, the most popular one there is B. There's 3 strategies, A, B, and C. I can't tell you what really is behind these strategies because we would be giving away our coding. So that's really just to give you an idea to filter out. Okay, so I'm going to choose strategy B, but you see by doing that, it puts this one in a minus over here. Okay, but we're not going to worry about that for the moment. Then we're going to look at what the algorithm is. The algorithm here is 70. This one is 100, and this one is 10. So I've not really got much of an algorithm to go for. So I'm going to go in the middle. Okay, and that's put this one in profit, but now put this one in arrears, in minus. So as I say, we're looking for something that they're all in green. And what I tend to like to look for is that it either stays steady at a steady price, you know, so that the price stays around about a similar price to for each day, or it increases. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much if I had a red one here and then an increase into the green and then a further increase into the green, because that's showing me that there's a pattern moving upwards. Okay, now I'm then going to come over to the formulas. Now this one, as you can see, it's choosing 1, 8, 64 and 512. Well, obviously it's not, I put in a 100 budget, but it never actually executed all of those trades, because what that basically means, if it did the first trade of $1, say, then the next trade it would do would be $8 if it lost that first dollar. If it lost that $8, it would do 64, and if it lost that 64, it would do 512. But as you can see here, the bot only actually lost $73 to make 42. Now you might be looking at the screen saying, what, it lost? Surely it's lost more than what it made. But no, what it means is it spent $73, then it got into profit, it got back the $73 that it lost, and it got a further $42.48. Okay, this one over here, oh sorry, formula 1, 5, 25 and 125, which means if it placed its first bet of $1 and it lost that, the second bet would be $5. The third bet would be $25, providing it lost the 5. And if it lost the 25, it would then place a fourth bet of, or a fourth trade at $125. So, and then this one over here is the 1864. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose on this side here, I'm just going to choose 111 for now. As you can see, I've got $2 minus, $4.50 minus, and $86. Yeah, it's going, it's not a good, I wouldn't be choosing this. Okay, I wouldn't be choosing this. I can tell you I wouldn't be choosing that, but I would investigate more on how to choose my bot. But what I really wanted to show you was the settings. So I'm going to choose this, and I'm not going to set the bot up, obviously, because it's not one that I would choose. And I'm doing this for a reason, because I don't want you to copycat. Okay, I don't want you to copy what I'm doing and saying, I did what you did, Jeremy, and my bot lost or it won. You know, it's about you working with the formulas, and we will be making some more training videos to get into, you know, in the nitty gritty of everything to show you how it's done. But really, the bit that I'm interested in to show you is the bit that's on this pop-up box. Okay, so at the top here, we've got what you want to call your bot. You can call it anything you want: bot 1, bot 2, test. Give it your daughter's name, your son's name, your wife's name, your husband's name. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's just really like a note for you. Okay, that's just a note for you that reminds you what the bot is. Here you can set the bot to either run now, it will start today, or of course you can choose a time in the future. You know, so I could choose tomorrow and then whatever time I want it to go, and there you go. So I've set my bot to go up in the future. Here you can choose either demo or live. I would recommend that when you're setting up your bots for the first time, you run them in demo. You know, I wouldn't go to live until you've got the ability, you know, you feel confident that the bot's doing well for you and you understand the settings. As you can see here already, it's got strategy B. Okay, and here's the amount of hours you want your bot to run. I normally run mine for, you know, at least 3 days. You know, I'm not really, there's no good point running it for an hour or two. Run it for at least 3 days. But really, it's not that crucial. You know, you could put 7,000 hours in there if you wanted. The bits that I'm going to show you in a moment will be what makes your bot stop running, and whether so it can override the hours. Okay, then you've got your algorithm. We chose an algorithm. I'm going to come back to this high risk in a moment, but you've got a higher risk. Obviously, if you tick that, that means that the bot's going to trade where it normally would say, you know, the charts are not that great at the moment, so I'm going to not trade. If you tick that box, it's going to trade on the chart regardless. Okay, that can be a good, you know, being a higher risk can be good for the bot. Can get good massive profits or good profits, but it's risky. Okay, so if you're not a risky person, I wouldn't tick that box. Okay, now here you've got the set formulas that we use. Now, if you know anything about trading formulas, there's a trading formula called the martingale. Okay, now the martingale basically works. This one here is a martingale. It will do its first bet based if it's on an ROI of say 80% and above. It would do its first bet. If it lost that bet, it would double it. If it lost that bet, it would double it again. If it lost that bet, it would double it again. You could keep going like that with martingale. You can Google it, martingale. But we've got our own formulas in place as well, because obviously what we did when we were programming, we run lots and lots and lots and lots of bots. And I've been doing lots of tests with bots. And I can tell you that, you know, we've tested every type of formula that there is out there. But we've also got this button, which is to customize. Okay, so you can click that button and you get this. Now, if I untick it, you can see that there's, look, if I count the positions, you know, there's 4 trades in a row. So there's 111, which means if it placed the first bet of $1 and it lost, the second bet would be $1. If it lost that, the third bet would be $1. And if it lost that, the third bet or trade, if you like, would be $1. This one, again, it's in a row of 4. So the first one would be $1 if you set it to be the first bet. Obviously, if you set it for $10, it would place $10. And then the second one would be $20 if it lost the first $10. And if it lost the $20, the next trade would be $40. And if it lost that $40, the next trade would be $80. Okay. So this is not money that it's here. It's basically telling you what it's multiplying by. So if you had placed your first bet to say you want the bot to place $100, and if it lost that, the second bet would be $200. And if it lost that, the third bet would be $400. And, you know, and if it lost that $400, the fourth bet would be $800. Okay, so you can stick with these set formulas, or of course you can customize it. Now, the first box, you should always leave it with the number 1 in, because there's no point you put in, say, I want my first bet, I'm going to say it's first $1, and then putting 2 in here, because obviously you would want to put just 2 in there, wouldn't you? You see? Okay, so what you want to do is you leave your first bet with 1, this number as 1. Now, what you want to do with the second one is you can decide what number you want to put in there. You see, so if I untick this, that's got on a 1864 512. So I could put in there whatever like. I could put in there $5. I could put this one at $10 or even $15. And I could say I would put this at $1. Could put whatever formula you want to work with. Okay. Now, of course, what the bot will do, it's all based on what you put in here. Okay, it's all based on what you put in here in your first bet. Okay, you could put $1 in there, you could put $10 in there, you could put $100 in there, you could put more or less anything you want based on your formulas. But because I've got 15 in there, it's not going to let me do it, because the biggest bet that it can do is 1,000. Okay, so it's not going to let me put that 100, because obviously that would be 1,500, you see. So if I take that out of there, where I would adjust these numbers until this is not red. Okay, I shall check that we haven't got any bugs there. But coming on to the next thing is your budget. Now, your budget is what you're prepared to lose. Okay, now obviously you don't want to lose anything, but again, whenever you're trading, you can't guarantee that you're going to win every trade. You know, no robot or no trader on the planet can guarantee he's going to win every trade. He's going to lose some. So when you're trading, you have to say what you're prepared to lose. Now, I've got this in demo mode, so I could basically put this in for any number I want. You know, I could put in here 10,000 if I wanted to. You know, I could make that 10,000. But what I like to do is, if I'm trading in demo, treat it like I'm trading in real money. So, you know, you could put $100 in there, $20 in there, $5 in there, whichever you feel happy. So I'm going to put in $20, okay? And then here is how much I want my profit target to be. Now, what does that mean? That means if the bot gets to what I call the profit target, so say I put in there $2, for example. So if the bot got to $2, now what it's going to do is it's going to save me half of that money, depending on what settings are going to put up, but it's not going to let me walk away with no profit. It's going to give me some profit. So I can put this budget split, we call it. So if I put that at 50%, this will sort of make sense to you now. So if the robot gets to, it makes me $2 profit, okay, then what it's going to do is it's going to bank $1. It's going to say, I'm going to keep you $1 and I'm only going to trade with $1. Okay. Now, obviously, it can make a trade and win that. Now, if it does win it, and you said you wanted $2, but now the bot might be in profit of, say, $4 or $6, it would bank half of that again. It would say, okay, if you've got $4, going to bank 2, so you're definitely going to walk away with 2, and I'll trade with the other 2. Okay. Now, what you've also got is you've got a smart compound and you've got an auto duplication. I'm not going to go into the smart compound, but if you tick this box, the auto duplication, what happens is when the bots, you know, let's just say your bot gets to, you say $2 and it gets you a profit of $3.75 and then it has to stop. Okay. It might stop at $8, might stop at $1. But the point is, once the bot gets to a profit and it's finished trading, and it says, I can't get you any more money based on what you was trading with and based on your profit target, it's going to finish the bot. Well, if it was in a profit, the bot will automatically restart itself. It will create a new bot. It won't restart that existing bot. That will be in the archives, but it will create a new bot for you automatically. Now, when you do set this button here, if you tick that button, you must not, after you've saved the bot, come in and edit it or do anything to the bot, because now you've overrid the settings, okay? So once you've set your bot up, if you want it to auto-duplicate, you must let the bot run on its own. Don't go back in and edit it. If you're not happy with the bot, I would say just terminate it is the best thing. You know, editing bots, I've been looking at some people's accounts, and there was a guy that I could see he was in like a couple of $100 profit, and then he started to lose because he put his profit target too high. Then he went back in and changed his first bet from, I think it was $10 back down to, he put it down to $1. Then the bot had a series of wins, but because he changed, he'd lost the money in the beginning, and then he put down a lower bet. The bot's now chasing the money, and it's not a good move to go into a bot once you've set it up and change it. You're better off letting the bot run its course. And if you're not happy with the bot, would be to terminate it. Okay. And then the next thing down the bottom here, we've got what's called the Bollinger Band settings. They're already pre-populated with 15 and 1.75. I'm not going to go into that on this Hangout, but if you've got any questions about this pop-up, okay, then let us have them in the Hangout. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over to the Hangout, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I've gone a bit dry, Darren. So if I may, I'd like to hand it over to you while I have a little swig of water.
Yes, no problem at all. Hi, guys. Right. Now, hopefully, I've played with my camera now for the past few days, so hopefully we've not got the swaying that we had last week. So fingers crossed. Right. What I want to do is just very quickly share my screen. I know we've got a couple of questions in the chat there. We will come to those, so don't worry about it. But at the moment, I just want to, so hopefully I'm sharing screen, and we're in the back of this account. Now you can see at the moment I've got no live bots currently. I've got one demo bot that I've got running at the moment. And so if we just go back to the live, we go to archive. Now I've blown this screen up, so hopefully everybody can see this. So I'll just go down slowly, just so you know, people can see, you know, what they want to see. And obviously, if you want to come back and freeze frame or stop the video, then you can do. But you'll notice that, for example, here we've got a couple of reds, which are obviously losses, but you can see that we've got quite a lot of blues. And if I click show more, you'll notice that, you know, it's not a screenshot or anything like that. So you can see here that if we go down to blues, blues, blues. Okay, and there are some reds in there, and there are some bots that have terminated. And as Jeremy just says, you know, if a bot isn't working for me, I try not to tinker with it, and I just terminate it. And whether that's in profit, if it's not done anything, or if it's you know, if it's made a loss, and I think, oh, I've made a mistake, I'm going to go back and redo it. So I just wanted to make sure that people can see that, you know, this one here, for example, I've terminated today. It wasn't really doing what I wanted to do. I'm actually doing trying a different strategy, which I just want to very quickly cover in a minute. Because what I did last week, I was doing, I suppose you would call it sniping, which is where I was going in with this crazy formula. Now, Jeremy has just walked you through how that formula works, so I'm not going to regurgitate that. But basically what I was doing, I was going in with a small budget of $10, and I was going in with this large formula. Now, as Jeremy has just said, that this formula will not work with such a small budget, but what it would do, it would work with the first two numbers. And so what I was doing was going in very quickly, getting a profit from that $10 risk, and then getting out again. Now the strategy worked really well. So as you can see, you know, that's what it's been producing. A couple of losses, but like I say, when it doesn't work, generally, for example here, if it'll dip into the budget, but then it will then pop out very quickly and create a profit. There are occasions like here where it will really go deep into the profit. What I did do here is that I went back in, I edited this and gave it an extra couple of quid to play with, because I was running something on here that I wanted to really test. It's not something I advise doing, simply because you're chasing that loss. But on this occasion, I got away with it. Absolutely got away with it. It's not something that I would do normally. What I would do normally would be, just like here, I would just simply terminate it, or allow it to get terminated by itself. But generally, it just dips in, creates the profit, and then like I say, then it cuts out. So what am I doing?
Can I just interject there, Darren, actually?
Yeah.
While you got that on the screen, because I think it's very interesting here. If you can see where Darren had a, let's go, if you've got one there where you've got a $1 first bet. Yeah, so there's one I can see. It's a $1 first bet. Okay, now it dipped in 40 cents into it, which is the bot number 8801, which is $14.88. Down, it's down a little bit. It's below the two red ones, the one I was looking at.
Yeah.
Now, because you might look at the screen and say, well, $14.88 is not going to light any fires. But there's, for me, I look at this in many ways because I've been doing some tests myself. Now, Darren's got a budget there of $10, and he's got his first trade at $1. Now, imagine, and it used 40 cents out of that $10. So let's just say that Darren said, well, I'm going to make my first trade $10 now. That would be $14.88, $148 in profit.
Yeah.
wouldn't it? You know, so it depends on what your budget is. Because if you're playing with a budget of $10 in Darren's case there, but if he said, well, I'm actually got $1,000 I want to trade with, and I'm going to put my first bet at $100, he would have made $148, and it would have only dipped into it by $40. You know, it would have dipped in by $4, wouldn't it? It would have dipped in by $4, and you would have walked away with $148, and the bot finish got you your profit. And of course, obviously, you could have put that bet for $10, $5, $100, $200. You could go up as much as $1,000 for the first bet. And imagine if he did $1,000 for the first bet. You know, do the maths yourself. So when you've got a winning formula, you can actually say to yourself, well, that bot seems to be doing great now. I'm not going to touch the algorithms. I'm not going to touch the formulas, and I'm not going to touch the what's the other one? There's three of them, isn't there? I've got my mind's gone. Algorithm, formula, and the strategy. But what you could do is you could say, well, the next bot, I'm going to copy that, and I'm just going to up the bet. I'm going to say I'm going to do $2 and see how that does. And you could slowly creep up so that you're getting better money once you've got a winning bot. But again, what I've found is, you know, if the bot goes and makes me $14.58 and it costs me 10 cents to do that, yeah, I had $10 on the line for risking, but it actually lost 10 cents before it got back. Well, it got back what I lost. So it obviously made a dollar trade and maybe won that, and then it maybe lost. It maybe won a couple of trades. I don't know. Can you click on that blue button there, Darren, just to show us? Yeah, the one below it I was looking at, but yeah, anyway.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so you can see, okay, the one below, that's it. So the one below there, as you could see, the bot started off with a 0, and then it's had a little win, then it's had a loss, and then it had it had one loss basically, didn't it? And then it started to win. Now imagine if you would have gone in and changed those settings and said, oh, I'm going to lower the I mean, you can't go no lower than $1, but if you were trading with $5, and some people I've seen trading with $10, and they say, oh, it's lost, I'm going to go in and set the settings down to $1. This bot would have never recovered because it's been chasing the money. So leave your bot set up, but it's all down to what you put as the first bet. If you want to get bigger money, I wouldn't let Green take you over. Then make the first bet that little bit more. But yeah, sorry, I just thought that was you interject with that.
No, and it's really important to understand that, as Jeremy's saying, is that, some of these will, this is the beauty of having a bot, because it takes the emotion out of the trading. Because in all honesty, when this gets to, as you can see here, we've got a trade here at $1, and then as Jeremy says, this one here is running at $2 as a first bet. And you can see here it goes up to $26, $27. Well, emotionally, if I've been getting these sorts of wins, then I've had a couple of losses, then I probably would have cut that one out short. I might have just sort of taken the money at around about $10, $12 because I just wanted to recover this loss here. However, the bot just carried on running, and then obviously hit its didn't have a target on here, so I just terminated it. But it's about having that, allowing the bot to do what it needs to do, even if, like here, it's creating a loss. Now, I ran this, and this is the one that I wanted to show you. Again, I'm not saying I've stumbled across something else, but it's something that I'm testing. So you can see here that we know that the programmers are constantly doing work on this here, this algorithm, okay, and they're refining it and refining it. Now, what I've done is I've gone back and looked at a lot of the my successful bots and ones which have run, and I've identified. Now, this is really depending on the strategy that I'm using. I'm not saying go out and do all this to all your bots, but based on the strategy, whether it's an A, B, or C, and with this formula, it provides me with not very many trades, but more often than not, they are what I would call a safe trade. So if I'm thinking that this 10% or the low end of the algorithm is providing me with less trades, but they are safer, if you like, or less high risk is probably the best way to put it. Then if I run it with the low end formula, could I start to get some really good regular profits? And the answers are here. So as you can see here, I've just been running slightly different, if we come back to this one here, slightly different formulas, okay, than what I've been using, simply because I've been just testing things out. So you can see here that I've been getting, started this one here, you know, Jeremy was talking about, you know, putting in big crazy first bets. Well, this is one here. So you can see here, this is a $100 bet, but I was doing it on this really safe-ish, if you like, or less risky formula. Now I was supposed to be doing this one on demo, and I actually set it at live, but thankfully it came in with a profit. And when I realised that it came in with a profit, I sort of cut that one out. But you can see I got away with that one. But again, here you can see I'm running this one with 2. I'm running this one here with 10. Now this one started at 5, I think, if memory serves me. This started at 5 and then duplicated when it got to a target. I then went in and made the mistake that Jeremy's just highlighted. Went in and changed the settings. But basically went in at 5 and then duplicated to 10 after it hit a target. And you can see here it's come out with 108. Again, this one here I've just terminated because it really wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So this is what the strategy that I'm playing with at the moment, is looking for what do you call it, less risky settings. Now I've had to trawl through an awful lot to find the less risky settings that I'm comfortable with. But again, I've still got this sniper strategy that I can work with, that has proven to work really well. And with the addition that Jeremy's just shown you about customizing the formula, then again, there is a lot of success to be had using that strategy by changing the formula. So you could start off with, say, $5 here, you could go to $15, you could go to, I don't know, $30, whatever your formula might be, then that might be the way to sort of expand on that sort of sniper strategy. And like I say, I'm now working on this other one of keeping it less risky, but going in with bigger amounts. Now, if I just very quickly come over to demo, you can see that I've got one demo here that I'm running with a slightly different formula. I'm doing a 1-2-1-2. And at the moment, I mean, this has been running for, well, what time is this? This was yesterday. Obviously, we had an issue, or a pocket option had an issue for the past sort of 12, 18 hours. So it's not really had a chance to have a go at it. But you can see here that it's lost the first one, won, lost, won, lost. Now it's losing me $10. But when it places that second bet, it's going in with $20. So just to try and explain that to you. So that first bet is for $10, so it gives me minus 10. But that second trade is now for $20, as Jeremy's already explained. Okay, so it's gone in for $20, but then the next one it loses at 10, but then it places another bet for another $20. So that's, you can see it's just slightly creeping up. I haven't got a problem if it win loses on that formula, but again, I'm just testing this one out. Now I am using Sentiment Network. Why am I using Sentiment Network? I'll just very quickly show you this, because this is a really powerful thing that I've only really used myself for the past couple of weeks, and I haven't spoken about it simply because I've forgotten. But if I just use Sentiment Network as an example, see this little motorway sign. Now we have talked about it in the past, but if I just click on it, I just want you to show you the chart. Now Jeremy talks about checking charts before you place a bet, and that's something that I probably haven't paid a great deal of attention to myself. I've done it when I've had the time, but it's not something that I've done a great deal with. But I have started doing it now. I've been sort of super analysing formula. Now this is probably the world's best chart. If I was trading manually, then this just looks an incredible chart to be trading. And then you can see here where it's highlighting sort of volatility, which is absolutely spot on. And if I can't get rid of that, let's scroll along here. You've just got wins all over the place on this chart. Now, obviously, this is a guide. Okay, we're not saying that the bets are going to be placed exactly where these are, simply because of the different algorithms that you use and the different strategies that you're using, and things like that. So but this looks like a less risky chart than possibly one which is showing really great peaks and troughs.
Can you keep that on the screen there a minute, Darren?
Yeah.
If you don't mind, because I just want to explain to people here so that they can see. You can obviously see the red line that squiggles across the top, a blue line that squiggles through the middle, and then you see a green line. That's what's called the Bollinger Bands, which was on that pop-up, the last one. And then you've got the candles. Now, you may be looking at the candles, and you can see that there's a square candle, if you like, or one that's got two equal sides, and so that there's this rectangular side candle, and then you've got like another shape inside that that's rounded. Now, what that means is the rounded bit, the top of the rounded bit or the bottom of the rounded bit, obviously top if it's green, bottom if it's red. That's a trigger point for the robot. That's its trigger point. Now that'll all be based on the algorithms and the strategies that you choose. So if you can see, there's a little man that's sort of, I don't know, he's running. That's basically a trigger point that the bot recognized that there was a run. So if you look at that one where there's a 00.10, so 10 minutes past midnight, then 11 minutes past midnight, then 12 minutes past midnight, then 13, then 14. You can see that there's a pattern going downwards. So the robot obviously wouldn't be trading at that time because it's in between the Bollinger Bands, but then it came out of the Bollinger Band, but the robot was very cautious. It thought, well, over the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, it's constantly gone down. So I'm not, even though it's a trigger point to say that the bot, the candle went outside the Bollinger Band, which is normally a trigger point for you to place an upward bet in this case. The bot was cautious and it didn't place that bet. In this time, the bot got it wrong, because you could see that the next candle went up. But, the bot can't read the future, the same as you can't when you're looking at a chart. You have to, with the human eye, say, well, look, that's gone, 5 candles have gone down. Do I really believe it's going to go up on the 6th candle, or is it going to go down? Personally, I wouldn't have placed a trade there. I would have said, well, it's got this downward movement. I like to see, this zigzag movement. So that gives you an idea of what the bot does. And then where you see the blue arrows, that doesn't mean it's an upward price or a downward price. It's basically showing you that's where the bot actually made a decision. I don't know whether you can scroll up the screen. Can you see the actual wins, Darren? Because it's normally a line. There you go. So you can see that the bot won there. It made a trade, that first little blue candle, which is at 0.39 seconds. You could have well been in bed, and the bot made a trade and won it. Okay, and put the bot back in profit, because you can see before that 7.44, there was a -$1 and the bot was in a minus. So it made a trade there to say the price was going to go down. It didn't. It lost that bet. And if you scroll back down the screen, Darren, if you can see that the bot was actually in a -$1 there. So then it did Darren's next bet that he'd set up on his bot. He got that right, and it put it into a profit, $7.44. But so the bot will work 24 hours a day, and it's not a human. Okay, you might look at a chart and say, you know what, I would have made a trade there, but the bot's working on algorithms, mathematics. It's not looking. It looks at certain times. It says this is the window for me to make a trade or place a bet. And if that window passes or it doesn't get to that window, it doesn't do it. But you as a human might go, premature, if you like, or go after. You know what? I don't know what I've maybe got that wrong, but you know, you might make the decision, and you might make a right decision, but you'll make it based on human emotions, where a robot doesn't. It makes it purely on mathematical equations that the program has put in place, based on the strategies that myself and Darren do with real trading. So this gives you a good idea of what a bot or what a chart did and what the robot did with that chart over the last whatever day this was, you know, on that particular day. You know, because we give you 3 days, and you know, sometimes there's not a day there because we haven't got data, but you'll get an idea of how the bot's working. There's no good us giving you a chart on a live bot because you can't tell the future. So we like to show you what's happened in the past. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out, so people understand the charts a little bit more.
Cool. Okay, so so yeah, basically, I mean, I have gone through a lot of these, and there's some which are easier to understand than others. For example, and they all go through cycles. So Bitcoin used to be really easy to understand, and again, it was easy to predict, if you like. But that seems to be a little bit all over the place at the moment, as probably we're all aware. So it's possibly worth you looking at. And I use cryptocurrencies for the testing simply because I get 7 days worth of testing out of them. What I then do is then come back to the currencies or the commodities or the stocks, and again do the same thing. So it's about identifying a strategy and then looking for something that might fit that strategy, as opposed to the other way around. And that may sound a little bit sort of counterintuitive, but it seems to be, like I say, producing results for me at the moment. And like I say, the sniper strategy works pretty well. The enhancements that the programmers have put on, which are now going to really help us sort of leverage that strategy. So that's all in place. So again, like I said, I'm now looking at using that customized formula setting to see how we can sort of manipulate that or leverage that for our betting as well. So I just wanted to sort of highlight those. So hopefully that's bought you a little bit of time, Jeremy, to have a drink. And perhaps we might want to look at some questions. I'm not sure where we're up to with those.
Yep, thank you for that. Well, what I'll do is, while we're looking at the questions, I just wanted to share my screen again. And let me unlock your screen. How do we do that? That's it. Right, so share my screen. So hopefully, guys, you can see my screen. I'll hide that. And what I wanted to do is show you my live trades. Okay, so I've counted the last 36 trades back. Okay, I've made a note of them. And you know, this is all real money. Yeah, I've got some losses in there, but I'm not worried about the losses. And then I've got some bots that wasn't doing anything. These orange ones didn't make any money, so I've not counted those bots where they're orange, because they haven't lost or haven't won, so I can't count them in my equations. Okay, you see, bots, when they lose for me, it can lose $20, but you know, that can eat up maybe 3 or 4 winning bots. Okay, but what I done was, you know, I've got a brilliant bot there, 215. I've got some good bots, one there at 117. But what I've done is I counted back 36 bots. Okay, from my last 36 bots, I've had 6 that have lost. So I've had, the total number of winning trades is $432.89. The losing trades add up to $112.35, giving me a profit of $320.54 in 16 days. Okay, that's, if you do the maths, that's $20.03 a day, and if you times that by 30, that's $601 a month. You know, and that's, I added up my you know, my what my budgets were and all that sort of stuff. Added up my budgets, and basically that's a 16.66 return on investment. That's ROI, that should say ROI. So, you know, I'm very, very happy with that. And if you're looking at trading for the very first time and you've never done it before, then we've got the perfect formula for you, because what you've got is you've got a demo bot. Okay, you're allowed to have free demo bots, and when you're happy with that, you're allowed to have free live bots. So you can have 6 bots running at the same time, But I like to test demo. I've got some demos that I've done now, and I've lost $2,000. One I made 1,000, another one I lost 3,000, another one I made 4,000. But the demos, it doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it. You see, when you go and trade yourself with demo and live, what you do is you can be winning when you're doing it manually. On a demo, you win. You think, I've got this. The minute you go live, your human emotions take over. And then you start to panic because you see, you lost $1, you lost $10, you lost $20. I've lost $50, I've lost 100, and then you bottle out basically. Where with your robot, if it's winning in demo, it will win in live. That's basically the things that I go for. Obviously, you can't guarantee that because obviously the markets can change. But what I've found is if I get a bot to win in demo, and I then duplicate or make a new bot with the same settings and run it in live with a small budget, as I say, I've got 36 bots, total winnings 432, total losses 112.35. That's $320.54 in 16 days. Now, I didn't have to do anything really to do that. It was all sort of done on autopilot for me, making trades when I'm asleep, making trades when I'm in the IVF clinic, making trades when I'm sitting in a restaurant or walking around the park. It took me maybe, I suppose, half an hour, 15 minutes, half an hour to set up the bot, because I believe you should take the time to set your bot up, not just rush through it, look at the charts. But again, you might be one of those people that want to do it quickly. I believe putting a bit of effort in and setting your bot up in demo, try out free. Once you've got the winning formula, we give you free because it's a split test. You could do the same asset with different formulas. You don't have to do different assets. You can have a live bot running with the same asset with different formulas. You can have a demo bot running with the same asset with different formulas. So you don't have to choose different assets. You can choose one, which is what I've done. And I was doing, I had good success. If I just have a look, I think it was the network. Where was it? Sentiment. Is it Sentiment Network? Is that how you pronounce it? I've had that bot's run really well for me. And the week before, the EOS was running really well. Then EOS sort of stopped. The Sire coin I had some great trades with the Sire coin. I used to do really well with Burst. Burst was a great coin, but the markets change. And if you've seen what's happening with Bitcoin at the moment, we're on this, is it official? We're in this bear run now, but it's, so as Darren said earlier, Bitcoin was great and they will change. Bitcoin next week could be great for binary options, but right now it's not. So that's why you got the demo. So don't be afraid if you have a bot and it loses a bit of money, because next week that may change. And as I say, 36 bots, I can't get 100% wins, can I? But 6 losses, 6 bots that we're losing. I don't know. I think that's pretty fantastic. How are we doing for questions, Darren? Unmute yourself, sir.
I'm there. I was panicking then which screen to click. We're doing really well in the fact that I think we've only got one that we, or a couple actually. The first one is Philip Beaton. Hi, Philip. He's asking, when can we have more than just 3 bots working? We can't actually have 3. You've actually got 6. You've got 3 demo and 3 live bots. But again, I think we've done this one quite a while, quite often on the Hangouts. Basically, we're restricted because of the platform that we're using, which is Pocket Options, and obviously we want to make sure that we maintain a good working relationship with them. And obviously, as you can see, the bots are going to produce people profits, and so therefore we have to be cautious about how many people we are allowing onto Pocket Options in order to use the bots. And also on top of that, there is, I think, server issues with Pocket Options on how many trays that they can obviously handle. I don't know the technicalities. That's probably Jeremy's. Oh dear, am I doing the zooming in and out bit again?
Yeah, your cat.
Perhaps you best answer that one, Jeremy, because I'm going to get people being sick again.
Yeah, I got your left eye then up close, you know. Beautiful eyes, I can tell you that. So yeah, so basically, what we could give you more trading bots, but then that means less people will get access to the bot, because, as Darren quite rightly says, there's a limited number. We don't know what that limit is, okay? Because Pocket Options will say to us at any time, you can't allow any more people to have access to the bots. Now, it doesn't mean the amount of people. What it means is the amount of bots. So if we had 100 people or 1,000 people, I would say, and we gave them all free bots, that's 3,000 bots running all at the same time. And if they're running the demos, that's 6,000 bots. So if we turn around and said, look, we're now going to give you 10 bots, you can see that the numbers would just escalate too much, and they wouldn't like it, you know. So we want to give people, as many people as possible, access to this bot, okay? Because we believe that it's gonna, if you sort of take the time to work out your strategy, and we're going to be doing new videos, okay? We're going to be doing new videos because we've got a new design coming. In the back office, we've got the front design, we've got the new design coming in the back office, and then we'll be doing new videos to show you how the tools work. But we've got a few more days left of getting the bot really ready for the 28th, okay? So we're still doing a bit more tweaking, and we're constantly, and we will obviously tweak, but we're not going to give any more bots until we add another platform. We've got a platform lined up, but I can tell you now, we haven't started working on it, because what we want to do is launch this bot, get the people in, get it debugged, make sure it's all running smoothly, and then we will be working on the next platform, okay? Which we do have already a platform that we're in talks with, that have already given us API access. So I'll let you know after the launch what that one is, so you can set your accounts up over there. Any other questions, Darren?
Just one here from Jonathan Dunkley. He's saying, my demo bots haven't traded in over 24 hours. Is this likely an issue with Pocket Option? Again, I'll let you speak.
Well, again, obviously I can't say without looking at your bots, Jonathan, but let me tell you, there's a few things that would stop your bots trading, okay? One is that the charts are not tradable. They're too highly volatile at the moment. Two, there's maybe the asset's gone offline, okay? But as far as I'm aware, you know, my bots are trading, and, you know, I know that other people's bots are trading. You've just seen Darren's bots have got the communications. Yesterday, they did have a problem. But if they haven't traded, my advice is, don't bother with them, terminate them, and set yourself up some new bots. You know, set yourself up, maybe terminate one of it and set a new bot up, just to make sure that the settings haven't frozen or something like that, or there's not something wrong with that asset. But as far as we're aware, there's not any problems at the moment, because my bot literally just made a trade just before the Hangouts, and I haven't had a look what they've been doing now. But yeah, so as far as we're, you know, there's no need to send in a support ticket. The best thing to do, open up a new bot, terminate one, create a new bot, choose a different asset in demo, just choose any asset just to see if it trades, you know. But there could be a number of reasons why it's not trading. But I've had bots that haven't traded for 3-4 days, and then all of a sudden, bang, 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 because I've chose ones where the charts are too volatile, you know. So it's all to do with the charts and the markets.
So you just got a...
You muted yourself again.
Well, I muted myself because I got you. You all got a good close up of my chin then, so, or at least you did.
Yeah. So if we haven't got any more questions, so I just want to remind people, on the 28th of November we'll be going live, okay, and we will be auctioning some bronze founder positions, which I'll make some posts about that. And we will be running a competition after we go live and giving away some Bitcoin based on how many founder positions that we get through the auction. You can bid any amount that you want, from a penny upwards. It doesn't matter what you bid for them, okay? So if you're an existing founder and you say, well, I actually want to have another position for me mum, my brother, my uncle, my auntie, you feel free to put in that bid.
No, it was, well, we're going to do Wednesday, aren't we, next week? For
are you doing one Friday or not?
I wasn't planning, no.
So
no.
I think I'm going to do Monday and Wednesday. So are you available Monday and Wednesday? I think Monday and Wednesday. Definitely Wednesday. If there's a problem for Monday, I'll let you know. But I think the next Hangout's going to be Monday and Wednesday. And of course, now we're just going to be concentrating on getting things ready for the launch on the 28th of November. So no more questions, Darren, in the chat there?
No, well, Giles and Jurgen say that put questions in, but I can't see them. Graham can't see them either. So I don't know. I guess really that if you need those questions answering, if you contact me directly, then what I'll do is I'll try and answer it, unless you can see it on your screen.
No, I see Giles made a post, a capital letters one, saying hi all GDPM. So if you put, I can't see any questions at all from Giles or the other gentleman. So I apologise for that. Can't see anything there at all. We always try to answer the questions, and you should always keep your questions in capital letters. But anyway, we've run out of time now. We'll see you on the next Hangout, and you know, now's the time. If you're an affiliate and you want to start promoting, this is the time. This is the time to start getting out into the groups and whatnot. Because obviously we've got just the binary option bot, we've got the other crypto bots, and we've got the bots, the forex one coming, smart wallet coming, the arbitrage, which is part of the smart wallet, all being worked on as we speak. We've got an extra binary options platform that you're going to be able to work with as well with the bots. So we're just getting ready now for the launch. So have a fantastic rest of the week, and I think we'll see you either definitely Wednesday, but we might see you Monday. Okay, so you have a fantastic rest of the week. Tutty, bye.